Day one of the Guru Festival down here at Whiteacres. Day one we're on BOLINGEY, called Peg 16. To be honest, I fancy it. I've got a dead simple plan. I'm going to flick rig to this island over here and fish pace short, and then maybe pan round and fish down this edge. Got 6 metres and 13 metres. Got a corner here, so got a bit of room. I want to have a little line plumbed up out here. Fish pellets out there. Yeah, we're in with the harder section, so hopefully we can put a few fish together and start off the week nicely. Yeah. Okay, a bit of an update from yesterday. First day of the Guru Festival, I drew Peg 16 on BOLINGEY, which is it's in with the tougher pegs, like it's all corners, and then there's 3 pegs on the other side around for me, 20, 21, 22, all in that section. Probably it's fished really hard. Like, I've had a few shallow at 16 metres towards the island, and a few short, and mainly have caught up into the corner about 12 metres up the edge, just on corn. End up with 64 pound, which was just about enough to win section. There was a 62 and there was a 60. I got really lucky though, to be fair, because the bloke on 17 has gone over. He's had like 68 pound in one net, so they've knocked him back to 60, so it's done me a favour a bit. Following today, hopefully we'll draw 45. That had a big weight yesterday. It was like 180 pound off 45 yesterday. 45 or 27, and hopefully we'll do well again today. Yeah, then they're gone. Right, so day 2 of the Guru Festival. I've drawn peg 13 on POLLAWYN. To be honest, I've really fancied it. I've set up, feed it to the island, pellet waggler, bomb, long pole pellets and paste short, and haven't really caught on any of them. Really frustrating day. I ended up with £11 for stone cold last in section. Don't really. Everyone has good days and bad days. I've certainly given it 110%, but not really caught on any of them. What I've caught on pellet shallow at 16 metres, just very odd, wary fish. Yeah, definitely a day to forget. Couple of lessons learned from the day, I suppose. I took paste for short, and definitely should have taken meat. I think that would have been better. You always catch a few skimmers and like the odd fish on that high bank on meat short. The problem with white eggs is you make your decision, like when you look at your peg in the morning, this is the bait I'm going to take, and then you're stuck with that bait for the rest of the day. That was one thing. Another thing, my mate Gary Thomas, who was on the peg next door, he's done really well. He's fished a longer line between pole tip and float. I mean, the thing with white eggs is because it's like a 14-inch line length limit, I always measure it out and try and have 14 inches. But he thinks that having a longer line on that high bank definitely makes a difference, which to me makes sense, because you're fishing for fish that get fished for day in, day out, and they're big, wise fish, and they've seen it all before. So I think definitely keeping your pole away from the water could make a difference in future. But yeah, so last in section, but we've got a wind to work with from yesterday, so it's not all doom and gloom. So the thing is, I've got a win on the last, so I've got a wind to build with. So the only problem is now is that I've got to, no room for error for the rest of the week if I want to stand a chance of making the top 10. So we're either Twin Oaks or Trelawney tomorrow, so we'll see how we get on there. You know what I like?
Why?
I'm going to jinx this. I feel like I'm not going to pull out of it. It's really soft, you can just drag it. See where he is?
Yep. Fuck yeah.
getting knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
The intended species, what imitation? We'll take it. Proper fashion. Isn't that 19?
Yep.
Right, so day 3 of the Guru Festival, I've drawn 20 on back twin oaks. Got to the peg, like, oh, drink up, lovely, I'm going to empty it here. Really fancied it. The only thing I would have preferred is if like, the wind was hacking down our way, it was a bit flat. Set up, feeder to the far bank on 2 lines, like 10 and 2, and belly waggler. Cast a shallow and meat short. I had probably 3 or 4 chucks at the start because there's all like cruising fish all everywhere. Like before the wind got up a little bit, I could see like F1's just like that deep, then like odd carp. And as soon as the whistle went, I chucked the waggler into this corner and just vanished. But so after I chucked the feeder, had a carp pretty much straight away. Chucked that a few more times. All the while I'm looking into this corner in front of peg 19 to my right, and thought rather than fish my casters out in open water, I'll ping them in front of peg 19. So I've done that, and while I've been fishing the feeder for probably half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I've gone on it. I had a few like smaller F1s and a few bits and pieces doing that. Then I changed to fishing a 6mm hard pellet over the top of my casters, and that was a lot better. I think just the noise that a bigger pellet makes while you're slapping it, you can almost annoy him into taking it. So we caught 60 odd pound doing that, and then about an hour and a half to go, I've started feeding me 1 unit of meat. About an hour and a half to go, and then I've dropped in on that with an hour to go, and caught another 30 pound doing that. So really, that meat short has done me a favour really, because I've had 92 pound, which is just about won the section. Pete Black was second in section with 89 pounds. So that 30 pound that I've caught on meat short in that last hour really has done me a favour and has been the key to me winning the section. So we're on 2 wins and a last now. We're on to Jenny's or Tree Waters on day 4 now. So we'll see how we get on there. it's fucking angry. Ghosted. How dare you stick a lump of steel in me? Am I on? Right, so day 4 of the Guru Festival, I've drawn 18 on jennies. I was pretty happy with the peg. Oliver personally said it's an average pegging section with the favourable pegs being either end. Definitely 13, where you got that big gap and fish long down the edge. And 16 as well is a noted good peg on jennies because it's further out than all the other pegs. But I was happy with the peg. Decided to fish feeder to the island. It's a long chuck on that peg because you. I had Neil McKinnon next door, and it's quite a short chuck on that peg. But whereas the island comes back, it's quite a long chuck on 18. Got my bigger rod out and chucked that for 45 minutes. So I did a feeder out to the island. I was fished pellet shallow at 4.5 metres and meat short. So I chucked feeder for 45 minutes while I've been pinging me pellets at 4.5 metres for the Crassios, and come to feeder, slapped me rig 3 times at 4.5 metres, and elastic's been dragged out, and I've caught ghosty 8 pounds straight away, which is a nice bonus, especially after catching nothing for the first 45 minutes. So, then I've caught them Crassios steady till about an hour from the end. Well, I've not had a bite last hour, so I've had a poor start and finish to the match, but I had 41 Crassios in the middle. So I had 41 Crassios and the one ghosty for £52, which has got me second in section. I was fairly happy with that, to be honest. Adam Southgate's won section off of 16. He's a good angler. So, I was fairly happy to come second to Adam. I do like fishing for those Crassios on jennies because I feel like a lot of people fish for them like they're F1s, but I fish for them completely different to how I fish for F1s. I think when a lot of people go to jennies, they try and fish for them like the minimum line length limit and like bulk down rigs, but I've always found better if you have all your bulk underneath your float and keep slapping your rig. Like I said, you can annoy them on, and I think if you have a longer line between your pole tip and float as well for them, you can keep your pole tip away, and you end up getting more confident bites from them rather than if you have your 14 inch. I think they take your pellet in and suck it out straight away again, so you're striking and missing bites all the time, whereas if you give them a bit more line, I think they take the hook bait a lot more confidently. That's just me, that's the way I do it. I think it's quite interesting as well, but most of the Crassios I've caught, you slap your rig, and as your rig's falling through, you'll catch them sort of. I've set my rig sort of 18 inch, but I've probably caught a lot of them, you know, like sort of as the rig's like just settled, say 6 inch deep, and then it looks probably weird doing it, but I actually strike sideways so that your rig falls in, and as it's falling, you'll get a bite, and then you can strike sideways, and I've caught a lot of fish doing that day, so that was quite interesting. I actually really love fishing for those Crassios. A lot of people tend to lose a lot of them and get a bit frustrated, but I really enjoy fishing for them. Fish meat short as well, which I don't think that was the right decision on the day, but swings and roundabouts. I think if I fished that day again, I would have fished like 6 mils short, because a few of the lads the other side of Neil McKinnon to my right, they've caught some big fish on 6 mils short, and would have been a better choice on the day. But, now we're proper back in the mix. So I've got 2 wins and a second, and forget about the last. That's my dropper. So going into the last day on Porth tomorrow. If I do well on Porth on the last day, I'll win my section or come second. I've got a chance of making the top 10. So all to play for tomorrow. Best day of the week on Porth. Let's see how we get on.
We're having a win here, bugger. Hey? It's a skimmer. That's a free. 5 holes.
Okay, so last day of the Guru Festival. I've drawn peg 89 on Porth. I love Porth, I really do. Don't really get to do much like natural fishing nowadays, but always look forward to Porth when we go down to Whiteacres. And funnily enough, the last few years been going down there, I've never drawn the boat side, so it's quite interesting to be on the boat for a change. Longest walk as well, but yeah. Knowing I needed a win or a second to do well and possibly be in the top 10, I've just got the pile up basically. I've mixed up 5 bags of Bagram Super Skimmer Dark and XPD, and chopped a load of worms up and put a few casts and dead maggots in, and plan to feed a lot of bait. Just going to fish worms long and maggots short, and I put 8 cups in long and 3 short, and started short, and I've had 48 fish short, but like all these I was trying to catch like these little skimmers and the better roach, otherwise I would have fished pinkies, but I fished big maggot trying to catch these little skimmers, knowing I'd need a weight. Like target weight really was sort of like 20 pound, which turned out to be spot on in the end. But I've had 48 fish short, then I've gone long, and it weren't great to be fair. I think in hindsight I should have stuck short for longer and tried to catch as much as I could before I went long. I set a gram and a half and a 2 gram DT Nevis up, and the gram was spot on for short, but really the gram and a half and the 2 gram was too light for how long. I fished it at 40.5 metres, and it was quite a windy day, and we had a lot of undertow, and I was drew next to Neil McKinnon again, funnily enough, and he's fished a 2.5 gram rig, and I think that's really made a difference for him. I've had 2 bream long, I had one probably 3 pound and one probably 2.5 pound, plus me 48 fish short for 16 pound. Neil's had 19 pound on the end peg next to me, then Alex Rimmers won the section with 20 odd pound on 84 further up in the section. I was third in section. I think lessons learned from the day. Speaking to Neil afterwards, I should have set up a heavier rig. I mean, it's a big reservoir, it's deep. You need big, heavy floats to hold your bait still. I mean, I could like lay a little bit of line on and get bites with me 2 gram rig, but I think definitely in future I'll be taking some 2.5 and some 3 gram rigs for that. One other thing, it's a lesson I learned years ago, and something I've probably forgotten over the last few years because I don't really do that much worm fishing nowadays. But always when we used to go to Castle Ashby a lot, me and Dad, and we used to fish worm a lot there. And one of the first things he taught me about worm fishing was that once your float goes under, you hesitate before you give it a whack. And the first bite I've had out long, I've whacked it straight away. It's like float's gone. Whacked it straight away, and about that much, like 3 foot of 9 come out, and it's been on for say 3 or 4 seconds, then it's come off. That was definitely a bream. And then after that, I've had the 2 more bream I've actually caught. It's under, whacked it, like not straight away though, so like it goes under, like, float under, then you whack it, and they're the 2 fish that I've actually landed. So lesson learned a bit there. But I mean, I've had £16 in the end for third. I think if I'd had 1 more bream, £3, I could have maybe nicked second or even first on a better day. But I mean, being critical, I was quite happy with third. So we ended up 16th overall in the festival out of 180 anglers. So we got well chuffed with that. It turned what could have been a really bad week into a good week in the end. I mean, if I'd let that last get to me on the Tuesday, it could have really gone downhill from there. But I mean, everyone has good days, everyone has bad days, and I think you just got to take the rough with the smooth while you're down there. We always have a great time down there, and you're always going to get the odd bad day along the way. So, we're back down in October for 2 weeks for the Maver and Preston festivals. Can't wait, we're already counting down the days. We always have a good time down there. Not just the drinking in the evening, but the fishing as well. Yeah, we can't wait for that. Stay tuned to this page for more upcoming videos. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you on the bank soon.